I'm Marcus Tudon. This is my audience. Did you know that within 5 to 10 minutes, a person with a major bleed can bleed out within and die within 5 to 10 minutes? Everyone bleeds. Let's learn how to control it. I'm a paramedic with the Fort Victoria Fire Department, and today we're going to go over on how to control major bleeds. Now, we're going to take a look at major bleeds. We're also going to look at minor circumstances and major circumstances, whether it's a paper cut, whether it's just a laceration, a simple laceration that might need some stitches, or it's an actual major cut from whether it's any kind of power tools or from a car accident or something like that, or even a fall when you're out on a hike or anything like that. So we're going to go over that today. We're going to first start with direct pressure. So initially with any bleed, direct pressure is your best go. So whether it's a paper cut and you're just pressing it and pinching it with your finger, or you have a laceration to your hands or to your arm, kind of cover it and you're gonna press it hard and fast. Now, according to the Bleeding Control Organization, you're gonna when you use direct pressure, you're gonna press hard and you're gonna squeeze and you're gonna do, and it's not gonna feel good to the person that you're doing it to, but what you're trying to do is cause that pressure, close the blood vessels, and let the body work its platelets to where it clogs the blood up for you. So now that we've talked about direct pressure, let's talk about bandaging. So bandaging can be simple as a Band-Aid, or it could even be a cloth. Now, so if you have like a shirt or something like that, you can just press it directly on that, whether you have a spare shirt in your go bag, or if you happen to if you see a family member bleeding, you take your own shirt and put that direct there. That's another form. It's an absorbent that controls blood. It also helps the platelets work as they go and clog up your blood for you. Now, again, according to the Bleeding Control Organization, you can also pack the wound. Now, when you pack the wound, you apply direct pressure, and if that's not working and still bleeding through, you take sterile gauze or your shirt and you pack it into the wound to help further control the bleeding. Usually that will work with whether it be lacerations or minor bleeding, but if you have major bleeding that's arterial, and you'll know that it's arterial because it'll have a lot of force behind it, and it'll be bright red blood, and it'll be squirting out with the pulse of the person. Okay, so now that we've talked about bandaging and direct pressure, let's go directly into tourniquets now. Now this is my object today. This is a standard tourniquet. I would recommend anybody to get these for their go bags if they were hikers or any kind of sportsmen that go outdoors where they're not away from everybody. And it's just something that's good to carry around with you if you ever just in the go bag if you're into that. So you can get these at Academy, you can order these online, you can also get these at REI. Any kind of sporting goods stores will carry these kinds of things. So with these, it has a strap on it here. Here, so you can either measure it there and measure it around your leg and hook it in and go from there. But usually it'll come like this. Now, most of them these days will come with Velcro pros. This just happens to be cloth where you can punch it through. But I'm going to demonstrate what would happen if I had an arterial bleed. So let's say my arterial bleed is right here. So what you're going to want to do is go proximal to the wound, which means above it. So you go a few inches to usually about 4 to 6 inches above the wound, and you'll apply the tourniquet. And you're going to make sure that it's pulled down real tight and secured with the Velcro. This strap, we'll just leave the strap hanging for now. This is how it's designed. So you're going to take your lever here, and you're going to twist 1, 2, 3, and even up to 4 if need be. And what you do at this point is you secure it in place. And then you're going to want to check for distal pulses below the actual bleed, and you're going to see if bleeding is still happening. And now if bleeding is still happening, you can take another tourniquet above it or just slightly below it to help it control that bleed, but you never want to put a tourniquet actually on the bleed itself. Now, according to my source of Peter Pons in 2017, in his trauma documentary, he recommended that you place this on top, Place it on tight, and you can leave it on up to 4 to 6 hours without still losing your limb. So even with this being on your leg and cutting off circulation, it's not going to be a problem. At this point, if you have that much of a major bleed, it's life over limb. You'd rather be alive than have one leg. So lastly, at this point, you're just going to take this off, and that's it. And that's how it's put on tourniquet. So, in conclusion, today we have talked about bleeding control by direct pressure. We have talked about bandaging, and we have finally talked about tourniquets. So my hope today is that you've learned something, and that if ever need be, you're in a dire situation or in a minor situation, whether it be a paper cut, whether it be just a laceration from you cutting your hand with a knife, or you maybe had a fall or an accident and you're away from any kind of medical personnel and you have a tourniquet at hand or even a belt or anything, and you can learn to cut your bleeding off and save your life, save your family's life, or save a friend's life.